It's time for Access the Experts from the University of Nebraska at Omaha with your host, Brandon Axamit.
Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Access the Experts on News Channel Nebraska, where every Tuesday and Thursday, University of Nebraska at Omaha faculty members answer today's questions facing our state. Today we have the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Randall Adkins, who is the Associate Dean for UNO's College of Arts and Sciences, and today's question is a timely one with the general election just a few weeks away. Randy, today's question is, why does Nebraska split its electoral votes?
Brandon, thanks for that question. How electors are allocated between the presidential candidates is determined by state law. As everybody knows, most states use a winner-take-all system of allocating electors. This means that the plurality winner in a state wins all of the electors from that state. For example, the top candidate in California wins 55 electors. The top candidate in Texas wins 38. Now, Maine and Nebraska use a district plan for allocating electors. This means the plurality winner of each congressional district wins one elector, and the plurality winner of the state wins two additional electors. Supporters of this system say it fits Nebraska's political ethos. Party affiliation is supposed to take a backseat to Great Plains pragmatism. Some argue even further that progressivism, dating back to the days of George Norris, is part of the reason that we use it here in Nebraska. As you all know, Nebraska is the only state with a unicameral legislature where state senators may be partisans, but are not selected through a partisan primary process. Now, opponents argue they would like to see all 50 states use the same set of rules. In fact, Maine and Nebraska rarely split their votes. Nebraska gave one electoral college vote to Barack Obama in 2008, but Nebraska had not voted for a Democratic presidential candidate since 1964, when Lyndon Johnson won. And Maine gave one electoral college vote to Donald Trump in 2016, but Maine hadn't voted for a Republican presidential candidate since George H.W. Bush won in 1988. Now, there are two reasons that Nebraska and Maine may split their votes this year. First, it's highly competitive this year, and it's conceivable that every electoral vote may matter. And second, right now the presidential campaign is awash in money. So both campaigns can afford a field operation. They can afford political advertising in a congressional district where they're likely to lose the remainder of the state. And Brandon, that's why Nebraska splits our electoral college votes.
Well, thank you, Randy, for sharing your expertise on why Nebraska splits its electoral votes. Hopefully that gave our viewers at home a little more insight into why our state is unique in that regard. Well, for our viewers at home, do not forget that Access the Experts airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. only on News Channel Nebraska. On our next edition of Access the Experts this Thursday, we will talk with Dr. Njoki Marumba about how Nebraskans should respond to a natural disaster, and this is most pertinent after we look back at the flooding in March of 2019. Also, if you have a question you want answered, go to newschannelnebraska.com and click on the Access the Experts link.
Access the Experts, presented by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. If you have questions, submit them on our website. Then join us every Tuesday and Thursdays at 6:46 a.m. and p.m. while we answer your questions.